everybody, my name is Kathleen and welcome to my channel, Hello Kathleen Green.
I know is not she's a dime.
So today in this video, I'm going to tell you all how I got into nursing school. It took me a very long time. I'll go through the whole timeline and everything that I went through so you guys know exactly how I got to this point in my life. I know for some of you out there it might take you a long time too, but don't give up hope because it will eventually happen and someone's gonna take you somewhere. So I have everything written out so I don't miss any steps for you guys. First of all, I was never a good student really in high school. I barely studied at all. I worked since 10th grade, so I worked part-time and sometimes full-time during the high school year. And so once I got to my senior year of high school, I found out I had to take the SATs. I wasn't really educated about going into college, like how to get there, what SAT scores you needed, what GPAs you needed. I didn't know because no one in my like immediate family basically ever went to college, so I was going in there blind. So I took my SATs. I took them 3 times, bro, and I did so bad. Like, I'm just really bad on standardized testing, and mind you, I'm not good in like English and like grammar. Like, I'm not good. You could probably tell by the way I speak that I'm not good in things like that. So every time I was taking my SATs, like, I think it was called the English part back then. No, the reading part. It was called the reading part. I kept on getting low scores on that, and it would be like, oh, you know, you need to raise that. And all 3 times I took it, it was just bad. My math and my writing portion were okay because they were average, but the reading was like below average. So like a lot of schools was like dub. I started college in 2011. I went to Bennett College for Women in Greensboro, North Carolina. When I went to that school, my major was a math major because I wanted to become a math teacher. While I was there, I didn't know how to write a research paper. I did 1 research paper when I was in high school. The math was just too hard for me. Like, I finished with trigonometry in high school, and like I didn't even pass that because I stopped going because I got into a bad argument with the teacher. So I had an F in that class. So going from like not doing any math in my last few months of senior year to doing like math again, it just wasn't like clicking with me. And it was like a really early morning class, and I was just, I don't know, I was just young, wild, and free. I did so bad that semester, and I went through a lot that semester, and I was basically like trying to find myself because I didn't know where I wanted to go. Like, I thought I wanted to be a math teacher, but the math was just too hard. So I feel like I wasn't going to be able to be a math teacher because the math, just wasn't getting it. I wasn't putting the effort in. My heart wasn't in it, and that was that. So I decided to come back home. So in January of 2012, I came back home. I was enrolled at Nassau Community College on Long Island, and I majored in fashion buying and merchandising. That was so much fun. I started my own clothing line called New Millennium Hippie. I did it for a little while, but it became too much. I was just like, I don't want to do it anymore. Oh, also in the summer of 2012, when I was home, I took my home health aide course because my older sister works as a home health aide, and she told me what she did, and I was like, you know what, I just want to do it. I'm 18 at this point. I can really have a lot of different types of jobs, and I still work as a home health aide to this day. So it's been about 5 years now, and it really kind of opened me up a little bit more to the healthcare field, and it made me see like, oh, like I really want to help people. Like, I get a pleasure out of helping people. Like, that's my purpose in life, is to help people. And then after that, I planned on going back another semester. And then the next semester that I went back, my panic attacks were really bad, so I just stopped going to school. And then I just had a whole bunch of WFs on my transcript. I didn't really know what that meant, and I really didn't care, so I was just moving on with my life. And I found out that I wanted to do a medical assistant program because I was dating a different girl at the time, and her sister was going to a medical assistant program, and I just liked the books that she was reading. Like, it was so interesting to me. Like, the medical field is so cool, and then like, I don't know, it just really intrigued me. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna sign up for this. So then January of 2013, I was enrolled at a medical assistant school. I went to Branford Hall. I went there for a few months, and then I left because my anxiety was so bad. During those points of my life, like, my anxiety really took over my life, and sometimes I get upset that I let it do that because like I really wouldn't even leave my house, but it was just very difficult for me. So for that whole summer, usually like medical assistant programs and trade schools are usually go through the summer, so that's a program that was supposed to go through the summer, and I just stopped. Like, I didn't do it. I didn't go back. Once it hit late 2013, I decided like, yo, like I really hit rock bottom. I'm barely going to work. I stopped going to school. Like, I need to do something again because like I need to serve like a life purpose. I always believe in something like serving a life purpose. Like, you're not here just to sit here. Like, you're here to do something to change lives. You're here to crunch numbers. I don't know, but you're here to do something. So then I got back into the medical assistant program, and then once I started going to more classes, passing the classes, this and that, I started to crave more knowledge. I started getting more into it, and I was like, yo, like, I want to be a nurse, like, I can do this, like, I want more information, I want to put my all into this. So then I started like getting on my transcripts of where I've been, because you know, I went to Bennett College and then I went to Nassau Community College. So I started gathering the transcripts, and then my first meeting I had was at Adelphi, and it was like, come in, sit down, and we'll tell you what you got to do to get in here. I'm like, okay, cool. I came, all my transcripts, dressed all nice and everything, and she was like, yeah, we're gonna put your GPAs together, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, cool. And mind you, my medical assistant classes, they didn't count because it's not like credited classes, if that makes sense. Like, classes in like trade schools kind of go by hours, so like if you miss hours, you have to make it up. She took me in, she put in all my grades and stuff. She's like, yeah, you're gonna have to fix this transcript from Nassau Community College. I'm like, what do you mean? She was like, all these WFs. I'm like, what? I thought they're just like W's, like withdrawals, like whatever. She was like, no, WFs mean that you just stop going, which I did just stop going. And so that sparked a whole nother thing that I had to do. So I had to get a whole bunch of medical forms saying like, oh, I stopped going because my anxiety, which was true. And then I got that taken off my transcript. My GPA still wasn't high enough. My GPA was like a 1.2 something. That's really hard to bring up. Basically, I didn't do anything. Like, I would just go to class and like chill and like not hand in papers because I didn't know how to write them, and I didn't want to ask for help. I just wanted to enjoy my time in sunny North Carolina and turn up and be social butterfly. So now we're in spring of 2014. I got my transcripts all set. I was still in my medical assistant program, but I decided to enroll in Suffolk Community College, and I started by following their curriculum of how to get into their program, because it was shorter to get into their program than it was to like Adelphi or a bachelor's program. I did a lot of research. I looked into so many programs. I looked into like programs everywhere, but mostly where I knew people. Like, I looked into programs here, I looked into programs in North Carolina, I looked into programs of Florida, I looked into programs in Georgia. I'll list the links down below, but I also used another website where you can kind of enter in like what you have, and they'll let you know like if the school has a waiting list or if you need an entrance exam or anything like that. So that really helped me out a lot too. So you have to do a lot of research, and it takes a lot of years of planning. If you come from a situation like me, if you have perfect grades, you're gonna get right in, and like that's that. Well, spring 2014 semester, I took chemistry. I don't know what else I took, but I definitely took chemistry, and I barely passed that class. It started with 24 of us. At the end of it, it was like 9 of us left. Nursing school, they're really strict on the grades. Like, I think nowadays you have to have like a B+ in like every science class. Mind you, when I was in high school, I took credits through Syracuse University. So I had biology, and I had like a C, a C-, a D, and a D- or whatever for like bio 1 and bio 2, but it was considered college credits. So I was already doing bad, and I got another C in chemistry. Even though I cried, I was happy that I passed. And then summer of 2014, oh my god, that was such a hard summer for me. Like, yo, I can't tell you how many times I cried. I was doing my medical assistant still, because the medical assistant was part-time, so I was doing it 4 nights a week for about 4 hours. And I was still working, sometimes full-time, sometimes part-time, depending on how many hours I was picking up with the home health aid cases. And then I was doing Nassau Community College stuff online and Suffolk Community College stuff online. And I was going crazy, like, and you guys know I love my social life, so I deprived myself of my social life to focus on my studies. And I mean, it was well worth it. My good friend Carla, she came over a lot to help me type. My neighbor Natalie helped me out a lot with writing. Daniela also helped me out a lot with writing, because like I told you guys, I'm really bad at writing. I was taking a lot of history classes, and me, history, English don't mix. No, just no. I was taking all those classes hoping that it'll bring my GPA up, which it did. I had like a 4.0 or like a 3.8 by the end of the semester at Suffolk, at Nassau, and at Branford. But Branford Hall credits didn't really matter. When I was taking all these classes, I'm like, yo, I'm just taking all these random classes. Like, even though I was following the general education requirements, and I was following like, oh, what gen eds you need to graduate with like a nursing degree and things like that, and like the electives that you need for nursing, I was getting annoyed because I was taking so many credits, and like I knew I will only earn like an associate's at the end, and I still had to raise my GPA, so it didn't make sense for me to keep on taking so many classes to put towards an associate's degree when I could be taking classes, raising my GPA, and getting a bachelor's. So that's when I decided that I wanted to go to a 4-year school and get a bachelor's degree so I could raise my GPA even more instead of just paying out for all these credits with like just little associate's degrees. No offense to associate's degrees. I mean, I have one, they're good, they're great, but I just wanted something more for myself, and I felt like I was working too hard to not work towards a bachelor's degree while I was trying to get into nursing. So I wound up applying for St. John's University and SUNY Old Westbury, and I was gonna do Queens College, but I got into St. John's, and then I looked at how much it cost, and I wanted to stay on campus and stuff like that, and I was just like, yeah, no. And I wasn't even gonna apply for SUNY Old Westbury because they denied me when I came out of high school. I was trying to get into the math teacher program, and it was like, nope, SAT score is too low, you cannot come here. So I was kind of like turned off to like apply to them, but the guy who I was dating, he was like, yo, just apply, like you never know. And I applied, and they took me right in, and I sat down with an advisor and I told them what I wanted to do. I was like, look, I'm here to get a degree and raise my GPA because I want to be a nurse. And it was like, okay, well, let's pick your major. So we mapped out how long it'll take me to get a biology degree, how long it'll take me to get a chemistry degree, how long it'll take me to get a public health degree, and this and that, a psychology degree. And I decided I'll do public health because I could finish it in 2 years as long as I kept on going full time. And it's something that I'm interested in. And I was like, all right, let's do it. So then fall 2014, I got into the 4-year school, and yeah, I started doing it. At this point, I was still doing my medical assistant. Still. Well, I think it finished in like October or November of 2014. So I was going to SUNY Old Westbury full time, working, and going to my medical assistant school stuff. Winter of 2014, I also took a class at Nassau Community College. It was at nighttime, a few nights a week. It was something about sex and gender. I took it. It was a quick 3-credit class, and that went towards my degree as well. I decided in spring of 2015 that I was going to take Anatomy and Physiology 1. I always do rate my professor, so I did my rate my professor, and I didn't see anything about this lady, but I was like, because I need to take this class because I wanted to get into nursing school as soon as I came out and got my bachelor's degree by fall 2016. So I went into this class, I'm taking it, making new friends. I'm not passing because I'm getting 60s, 40s, 50s, every little thing I'm not getting. So then I spoke to my teacher multiple times. She was like, oh, you know, you just gotta study, you gotta do this. Like, she wasn't really giving me any options. So I'm like, okay, cool, like I'm gonna just make this work. So then we took the practical the day before the final. So at the practical, basically I had to get like an 80 or 90 on the practical and the final to pass, or like a C+. So I'm taking this practical, and I do not know. I'm just walking around this practical. When you take a practical, it's like everything's like laid out, like pieces of the body or muscles or this and that, for you guys who don't know. And you go around and then like you take the name from your brain. Like, they don't give you like a box. No box. You have to take it from your brain. You have to take it from your brain and write it on a paper, and most of the time it has to be spelled correctly. Well, I knew that I did really bad, so then I brought the paper with me to withdraw from the class, because you can withdraw like a day before at Suffolk Community College. So after everyone left, I pulled out that paper. I'm like, listen, like I tried so hard. I'm crying. I'm like, I'm so sad. Like, I really wanted to pass this class. Like, I really feel like I tried hard. Technically I kind of didn't, because I was still doing full-time at SUNY Old Westbury and part-time at Suffolk Community College, and it was just too much at once. Like, science classes are nothing to play with if you're not super good at them. Like, I'm good in science, but it takes time. Like, you have to study hours every day, or at least almost every day, or the information is going to leave you. Like, you can't bullshit science. And then I handed in the paper after the final to the register office. I'm like, yo, I'm withdrawing. They was like, all right, cool, you ain't getting your money back. I'm like, yeah, I know, whatever. That was a low point for me that I hit too, because I was so upset with myself. I was like, I should have tried harder. Maybe I should have just focused on this science class. But that was the end of it. Like, I can't go back. I had to move forward. Oh, and also for the A&P 1 grade, I took a W. When you take the withdrawal paper, I took a W, so I didn't have an F in it. So technically, some schools, they count that as taking it one time. Some other schools don't count that as taking it at all. It depends on where you go. So over summer 2015, I was like, let me go take a nice little fun class, even though it's going to be challenging. I feel like it's going to help me. So I got my emergency medical technician basic. I did that class. It was a rapid class, so it was a couple of hours. I think it was 4 or 5 nights a week, and that class was super awesome. I met some great people, and I learned a lot of things about myself, how I should study, how I learn. So I was really happy that I took that course. So I took it over the summer, and then came fall 2015, 2015 schedule, I became a senior at Old Westbury. Fall 2016 and spring 2016, I just focused really on my classes at SUNY Old Westbury because I was a senior. I joined a sorority in fall of 2015, so that took up a lot of my time. So I was doing that, I was working, and I was going to school full time. The curriculum that I was following, I knew that I needed to take A&P to even get into any type of program, like to even get my little foot in, like I want to be here. So I just looked into a whole bunch of different programs. During spring of 2016, that was the semester that I was going to be graduating. I was talking to a guy who lived in Arkansas, so I was kind of like looking into schools down there because it's kind of easier to get into schools down south for nursing than it is up north. Like, up north, like it's really hard to get into schools. They're very, very strict, like this, like no, you can't, if you don't have this B plus, no, if you don't have the C plus, no exceptions, blah blah blah. But down south is kind of more lenient. I spoke to a lot of schools down south, especially in Arkansas, because I kind of wanted to go there. In spring 2016 semester, I registered for A&P 1 for the summer course at Suffolk Community College. In May of 2016, I got my bachelor's of science degree with a major in public health, and yeah, I did it, whoop-de-doo. First generation college student, like that was a big accomplishment. But then after that, I knew it was crunch time. Like I got my GPA up. I think it was like a cumulative, maybe almost hitting a 3.0 at this point. So then I'm like, yeah, like this is go time. Like it's now or never. Like at this point, this all nursing school. Like this is all I need to figure out where I'm going, what I want to be, like where I gotta go, who's gonna take me. Somebody's gonna take me somewhere. That's the mindset that I had. I was like, somebody, some school, some place, some state is gonna take my ass. I even looked into schools in Puerto Rico. I don't even speak Spanish. That's how determined I was. I was like, I don't care what I gotta do, where I gotta go, I'm gonna be a nurse. And that's that. Also, another thing with me is I didn't want to take an entrance exam. That was a big thing for me. Like I told you guys earlier, SAT scores were shitty. And that's really hard to find. But 2 schools I applied for down south don't require entrance exams. I believe there's only 2 schools in New York that don't require entrance exams, which is my school. I'm not gonna say it on here. I check their websites like every few months. I was checking websites of certain schools, writing down what they require, how I can intertwine them so I have more I'm more marketable for them to want to take me as their student. So in summer of 2016, I took A&P 1 again for the second time. I got a B or like a B plus, I don't remember. I was just so happy, and the teacher that I had was just amazing. He really worked well with me. When it comes to science classes or any class in general, I feel like you should really get close to your teacher, especially if you know that you struggle or if you really need the class, because I went to him multiple times and I had to reach out to him and say like, hey look, like I need to get a B in this class to even be considered for any nursing school, like can you help me? And he'd be like, yeah, this is what I think you should do, focus on this, focus on that. And he just really helped me out a lot, like, and he was a really good teacher. I feel like that's what helped me out a lot as well. So after I took A&P 1 and I passed, I was like, okay, now it's even more go time. Like, what schools am I applying to? During the fall 2016 semester, while I was taking A&P 2, I decided that I need to go full force and figure out some schools that I was going to apply to. So I applied to Baptist Health Science College, I think that's the name of it, in Little Rock, Arkansas. I applied to the school I go to now, which is in upstate New York, and I worked very closely with the nursing advisor at the University of Little Rock in Arkansas. And even though I wouldn't be able to go right into their program because their program starts in like the summertime, he said that I'll be a great candidate as long as I pass the class. Every school wanted me to pass the class. Like when I got the letters from Baptist Health College and when I got the letter from my school that I go to now, they were like, basically like, hey girl, like if you pass this class with so-and-so grade, then you can come. If not, it's a dub. That's basically what it said in like slang terms. So it was a lot of pressure on me because my first exam I got an A&P 2 was a 48. I'm like, wow, here we go, spring 2015 all over again. I'm gonna have to drop this class. But I kept working at it. A woman named Dana, lovely lady, oh my god, she's so smart, so amazing, so beautiful. She took me under her wing and she really helped me out. We studied all the time together and that really helped me, and she told me her techniques. Like she would watch videos, study the videos, and then study the material that like he would give us, and that's what I did. I was fortunate enough that since I'm a home health aide while I'm at work, I worked for a very educated family, so when I told them about school, it was like, yo, study. Like as long as our mom is like taken care of, you can study. So that's what I did. I watched videos at work, I took my notes at work, I studied, I came home, I studied, or I slept and I went to class and I came home and I studied again, and everything was A&P 2. Like my world revolved around A&P 2. The second test grade, I went up to like 60s. I'm like, damn, like I'm almost getting there, almost getting there. And then I kept on treading water. I kept on getting 70s, blah, blah, blah. And you know, with A&P classes or any science class, it's just your test grades. Like nothing else really matters. And then your final is usually a big portion of your grade. With this teacher, he dropped your lowest grade. And every time after a test, I'll be like, yo, look, like I'll have like books. I'll have books written out like this. Like you guys see how I mapped this out for this video? I would have books like this, the whole thing. I'm like, look, this is what I'm studying. Like I don't get why I'm not passing. He was like, yo, you could do it, you could do it, you could do it. And then finally by the end of the semester, I'm like, look, I got accepted to a few nursing schools and they told me I need so-and-so grade in this class to pass this class. Do you think I can do it? He said, yeah, you can do it, but you need to get like 80s on your finals and stuff, on your final practical and on your final exam. I'm like, okay, well, I'm back in the same situation as 2015. I got the paper, y'all. I got the paper. I'm like, let me get this withdrawal paper because if I don't get this grade, I'm going to take a withdrawal because I'm not taking another C on my transcript in a science class. I just can't do it. I took the final exam. I felt pretty confident and he told me about it. He was like, okay, you did good. After we take this practical, the practical was the last time we took and we had the class at nighttime. I'm like, after we take this practical, can you please tell me my exam grade? Because I need to know if I need to make this housing deposit for upstate because I need to know if I'm going or not. And he was like, yeah, I got you. So he emailed me back. He was like, listen, girl, you got a B+. And I'm like, what? Like, are you kidding me? Like, are you kidding me? Like, all those times with those, I was getting high 70s, like almost the 80s. And then I blew the final practical and the final out of the park. Like, thanks to Dana, because if it wasn't for Dana, then I probably would have failed because she helped me out so much with the studying. And she was so patient and I asked so many questions. And then I decided I was going upstate. I got that email. I cried. I'm going to nursing school. Oh God. Oh no, Mom. Oh my God, yes. Oh my God, Mom. I've been working so hard. I just couldn't believe it because I worked so hard. I could cry now, like legit. It's still all a dream to me. Like the first semester was really hard. I'll make another video about that for you guys. But just know, like, no matter where you come from, no matter what you did, no matter what you do, you'll get where you need to be. It might take you a long time. It took me what? I figured that I wanted to be in nursing school 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17. It took me basically 4 years to get into a nursing program. And mind you, I'm not in a bachelor's program because like I said, I didn't want to take the entrance exam because I'm really bad at that. And there's a whole bunch of other things that go into it too. Well, some bachelor's programs, they want you to have like all your sciences done. Some bachelor's programs want some other type of English classes that I didn't have, you know? And like, I just believed in myself. I said, yo, like, by the time I'm 25, I'm gonna be in a nursing school. I put it down for my goals ever since 2013. I don't care where I am. I don't care if I'm in a different country. I don't care. I could be in the middle of nowhere. I'm gonna be a nurse. And then here I am. Like, I'm not a nurse yet. I'm still in school. But here I am. Like, it's still a shock to me. Because to be able to take care of people is an honor. It's really an honor to me. It means so much to me. Like, to be able to help people, to be able to educate people, to be able to be with people when they're at their lowest point, to be with somebody next to them and be like, yeah, like, I'm here for you. Like, I got you. Like, what you don't know, I know. And if I don't know, I'm gonna find out for you because I'm here for you. I'm here to help you get better. I'm here. I'm your brain. I'm your advocate. I'm treating you like, it's just, it means so much to me. And I cannot wait. I cannot wait to be a nurse. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope all of you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at HelloKatGreen and be my friend on Snapchat at BrownKathleen. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Damn, I'm nasty. Camera battery got overheated. What? Knees hit my 70s. Like, alright, cool. We good money. My life is just like in shambles. So. Wait, I gotta restart this way. But I made it through. I'm like, lady, listen here. Like, you get like 1 or 2 homeworks worth like 2 points. You can't waste the time.